Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me today at the Taubman Museum of Art, along with my very special friend here. I want you to take a moment and take a look at this work of art. Take note of the materials that you see and what you think it is. What is this artist trying to create, and how are they creating it? The artist's name is Raúl de Nieves. And the name of this work of art is Psychopomp. Now, a psychopomp is actually a spiritual guide from Greek mythology who leads people into the afterlife. And this is this artist's rendition, or their version of what he thinks a psychopomp would look like. He's utilized string and cardboard, hands from a mannequin, beads, as well as stones and other materials. So it's actually a recycled work of art. He's using various materials to create one work of art. You may even notice there are some really great tassels in this work of art as well that would have held back curtains. But what I find most interesting is the facial features of this fantastic sculpture. Really great use of beads. And how wonderful to think of all these materials coming together to make a sculpture such as this. What kind of sculpture can you make out of items that you might find around your house, like bits of string or beads or even stones? Maybe you could create your own psychopomp. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today at the Taubman Museum of Art. Today we are going to be creating sculptures made out of objects that you can find around the house. Random supplies that you may have. Perhaps you have an egg carton, a plastic cup, some beads and jewels, some strips of scrap paper, some yarn, some clay or old Play-Doh. And then you'll need some scissors, perhaps, maybe some cotton balls, and then some glue and pipe cleaners. So we are going to create a sculpture that reminds us of the Psychopomp sculpture that we looked at in the gallery. And so I'm actually going to use my cup here as the base for my sculpture. I think I'm also going to create a Psychopomp kind of sculpture like our artist upstairs did. And so I'm gonna just, first of all, cut a couple of holes in here. Be careful when you're using scissors, make sure an adult is nearby. But I'm gonna use pipe cleaners to be the hands or the arms of my sculpture. And so I'm going to twist them, and I'm going to insert them inside the cup here. They stick out like so. Okay, do the same on the other side. Have fun with this. Just find some random things around the house and see what kind of sculpture you can create. You can create a magical being, perhaps, or an animal, or a building, or a car. It's really up to you as the artist and kind of the materials that you happen to find laying around that you can make into a sculpture. I'm going to use my egg carton, and I'm actually going to cut out one of the parts that the egg sits in to attach this to the top of my cup. I'm going to let that dry. Okay. And while that's drying, I'm going to use some of these strips of paper to create the outfit for my Psychopomp sculpture. And instead of cutting it down to size, I actually think I'm going to curl my paper like this and use a glue stick. Attach it to the top of my cup, like so. Keep going around doing that. Be really imaginative with this. Think of all the different colors and different things that you can use. Also think about while you're creating it, what would you call it? This is kind of starting to look a little bit like an octopus to me, so maybe I might try to make it more of like a sea creature. Keep going around. I know what I am loving. I'm loving all of these colors. Try to use some newspaper or magazines, or even some wrapping paper, tissue paper, whatever you have. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I have some of this yarn. I'm going to wrap this around my friend here. Make kind of like a bow tie. It'll also help to secure my paper. I'm loving it already. Now here's what I'm going to do with this older Play-Doh that I happen to have kind of hanging around. I'm going to flatten it out a little bit, and I'm actually going to use the bottom of this egg carton as my base, and I'm going to go around it with my dough here. Okay. You can do this if you happen to have this. If not, no worries. Just keep gluing and taping and doing as you please. Now, because I have this clay on here, I'm actually going to use that to impress some beads onto the head of my sculpture. Like that. I think I'm even going to use some of my cotton here, cotton ball, and also kind of press that in there. Whoops. Press that back in there. All right. So there, my friends, is the beginning of my Psychopomp sculpture. I think perhaps I will call it, let's see, Sir Octopus of the Sedum. Maybe, perhaps. We'll see. Think of a super fun title for your sculpture. And we can't wait to see what you create out of just some materials you can find around the house.
Hello friends, it is I, Toppy the Great Art Detective, coming to you from the Tubman Museum of Art. And guess what? You finished your session today. Congratulations to you. Yes, you were great art detectives. And I have been investigating all these shiny things, and I am so ready to say our detective motto together. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. We investigate those who create and salute those who inspire, because we know that making art is good for the heart and questioning makes us smarter. I pledge to look, listen, and learn. And if we follow all the clues, we can learn to make great art too. Okay, that's wonderful. Hey, friends, I'm gonna keep investigating all these shiny things in here. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.